The original 3DS first debuted back in March of 2011, and despite being over 12 years old, the console is still very popular even in 2023. In a lot of ways, the 3DS is a much better console versus the Nintendo Switch, and today we're going to go over just 5 reasons that back that statement up. Starting at number 1, we have the aesthetic. The 3DS has always been a very attractive console when it comes to handhelds. The OG 3DS lineup consisted of some pretty nice colors, including black, white, turquoise, blue, purple, red, and pink. There was a lot of options to choose from, and as time went on and as newer models came out, more and more special edition consoles eventually made their way to stores, and more color options came that weren't previously available. The Nintendo Switch definitely has some nice color options and special edition consoles, but most of the personality and designs focus on the Joy-Cons and the dock, rather than the console itself. I don't know, it just kind of feels boring because pretty much every normal Switch and Switch OLED is just a black console with hardly any flair to the tablet itself. It just doesn't feel as eye-catching as some of the 3DS consoles. To be fair to the Switch though, the Switch Lite lineup did correct this and added a bunch of cool color options as well as a few special edition models that really do give that classic 3DS vibe when it comes to colors and design. I just wish we could dock the Switch Lite. I'd gladly give up my OLED if that were possible. I mean, some of the Switch Lites, like the Pokemon ones, would be so cool to use as a daily driver. Our second reason is personality. How did Nintendo accomplish so much with so little? The original 3DS packed only a dual-core ARM CPU clocked at 268 MHz. It had only 128 MB of RAM with an additional 6 MB of VRAM. And yet, its operating system and the overall console experience feels like it's so much farther ahead than the Nintendo Switch. The main home menu had unique sounds when navigating the home screen, there was unique and iconic music and sounds when in different menus, for example, the internet settings page or the 3DS eShop. The console came with more theme options by default over the Nintendo Switch. Even now, 7 years into the Switch's lifespan, there are only 2 themes to choose from, the light theme or the dark one. With the 3DS, you could utilize those same themes and choose from other color options like red or blue, and you could purchase additional themes in the eShop for small amounts of money that could really personalize your 3DS. There were so many cool themes from popular Nintendo games like Zelda, Pokemon, Fire Emblem, etc. And these themes were not just cool wallpapers. A lot of them added new menu music, custom sounds when navigating the OS, custom sounds when waking the console up from sleep mode. The Switch operating system, in comparison, just lacks so much personality and detail and feels really bare bones versus what we had with the 3DS. It's a shame Nintendo never expanded upon the console experience in this way with Switch. With handheld consoles, portability is obviously very important, and it's why our third reason is all about portability. The 3DS featured the iconic Nintendo clamshell design. It's a dual screen console when you need it, and a small little slab when you don't. Being able to fold up the console and close it made the 3DS extremely pocketable and easy to carry around. You didn't necessarily need a special carrying case for it, and you didn't have to put it into a bag or a backpack. As time has gone on, handheld consoles have gotten larger and larger, like with the Switch OLED or even Valve's Steam Deck. These consoles are simply too large and specifically too wide to comfortably carry in your pocket. If you're someone who's constantly on the move and needs to be able to pick up and put away their handheld quickly and conveniently, well, the 3DS is pretty much the perfect option for that. It's lightweight, it fits into regular sized pockets just fine, and it doesn't require additional carrying cases or bags to get it around safely. For our fourth reason, we have the Pokemon fan's dream. Pokemon is undoubtedly a massive IP, and it's one of the biggest draws to any Nintendo console. And with the 3DS, you get a portable handheld that can play every major Pokemon game from Generation 1 all the way up to Generation 7. That's right, all the Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, DS, and 3DS Pokemon games on a single device. Whether you're a hardcore Pokemon fan or a newcomer to the series, you really cannot go wrong with the 3DS. It's home to some of the best and most iconic Pokemon games that to this day, Nintendo has not made available on the Switch in any official capacity. With the 3DS, you can relive all of the classics that started the worldwide phenomenon that is Pokemon. And lastly, we have our fifth reason, the community. The 3DS community is still alive and well in 2023. This console is special, and because of that, it's attracted a lot of passionate and dedicated community members that are still keeping this console alive today. The modding scene has remained incredibly active and have continued supporting the console, even when Nintendo has made it clear that they do not intend on doing the same. There's still active members in the community making new custom themes for the console too. Despite Nintendo closing down the eShop earlier this year, there still remains community-made applications that host the games that were lost with the eShop closure, like the popular Virtual Console games that are no longer purchasable from Nintendo. It's incredible how much support this console still has going into 2024. Like I said earlier, it's a special one. No hate to the Nintendo Switch, it's one of my favorite consoles of all time, and it definitely has a lot of benefits too. But there's just something about that 3DS magic that wasn't replicated with the Switch, and these were just some of the examples of things that made the 3DS so good. So if you're wondering if it's worth picking one up in 2023, well, I say absolutely. A few places you can find them for sale are Mercari or eBay, and both platforms tend to have a lot of these consoles for sale, and you can often find them for a pretty decent price. I also recommend checking out the 3DS subreddit. It's a nice place for people to come off and show their collections of 3DS games and consoles, and to just give their experiences with the 3DS lineup. If you've enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. It really helps me out. I have a lot more video essays like this planned for the future, and I think you won't want to miss out on them. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up this video. Appreciate your time. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you in the next video.